hear weird static now.
The persistent stream key changed. That's what's happening.
Put a little block there since he's anatomically correct.
All right, we're streaming now. I'm going to send this deadline.
Okay.
Northern Lights Public Radio.
That's the way, Chuck. Yeah, get up there in front. That's it, Chuck. You're leading. Boy, what a leader. Lead on, Chuck. You're the leader now, Chuck. You're the leader type, and you tell us what to do.
Yep.
And we'll do it.
Yep.
Come on, Chuck.
That's right.
Lead.
Yeah.
Lead,
Yeah.
Chuck. Lead.
Yeah.
That's it, Chuck. You tell us. We'll follow.
You're holding my hand, Chuck.
Oh.
You sly dog.
No, but I mean,
My friend's name is Charles. He doesn't like to be called Chucky.
how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
Hey.
Lots. Good morning. It is the KCHW Morning Show. I am Chuck, indeed. I am your leader. Take me to myself or something. Good morning, Scott. How you doing?
I got this.
Scotty's on fire.
He is. Every day. Every day. You know, and we've already learned valuable lessons today, Scott.
What's that?
Test your software when you update it before you have to go live on the air.
Yep.
Which-
Yep. I asked him that the show started, the software to stream to multiple platforms crashed, and I asked him if he tested it before we went live, and because he updated the software, and he said no, and I said, Chuck.
I opened it. You know what? But it turned out to not be the software. It was Facebook.
Oh, sure,
Facebook.
sure. Blame it on Facebook.
It
That's a good
doesn't-
one, though. I
It
like it.
doesn't like to keep that stream keep persistent.
I do that with whatever happens in my life. I get pulled over speeding. I blame it on Facebook.
Exactly. Sorry, officer. It wasn't me. It was Facebook. Have you seen what they're saying about you on Facebook today, officer? No. You should really go there.
I like that. That'd make you. If you said that to me, I'd be freaking out.
No, what they say, and then as he's checking his Facebook, you take off.
I get it.
Yeah, I know.
Got to have a plan. Do you like my extra picture today on my video stream?
I do. It's very festive.
It's very festive. It is. It's the new. Anybody can get one of these. They're for sale online. It's the new Donald Trump a troll doll.
There you go.
And it's anatomically correct, so I had to put a little black box over the part of it. And he's got a phone, so he can tweet on Truth Social anytime he wants.
There you go. Why do I find it so disturbing?
I like it how it's really orange, except for the eyes. They're a little pink.
I find it really disturbing, but at the same time, I want to rub his widow tummy.
Yeah. At least it's not actual size.
Right? He's so ugly and cute at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a
yeah,
Shar-Pei.
you want to comb his hair. And I heard the hair does come off, so hey.
Oh, does it?
It's removable. It's true to life.
He just
All
comes over to
right,
one
enough
side.
of that.
Yeah,
Let's start
right.
off with a little weather for Chihuahua. 10-day forecast. I'm not going to go that far, though. 83. You guys got some mellowing weather. Enjoy
We
it.
do.
Partly cloudy skies, 83 and 55. Clouds continue through the nighttime with a 17% chance of rain.
Nice. Was it,
All right,
did you
tomorrow.
give us a little William Shatner there?
Did I?
17%.
Would you like me
Chance
to, though?
of rain.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, 78 and 54. Partly cloudy, 7% chance of rain. 83 for your Thursday, still cloudy, 3% chance of rain. All these clouds don't have much moisture in them. Friday, 82 and 53, partly cloudy, 3% chance of rain. Saturday, 75 and 52, partly cloudy, 20% chance of rain. 15 for Sunday, 74 and 52. Monday right now, going back to the sunshine with the high of 79. Toward the end of the month, to wrap up August, you'll be back in the 90s. Low 90s, though.
Yep.
For 80s, 90s.
That's really warm. Seems going into September.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, last Friday, it was a gorgeous day. We had a high in the 70s, but we had that, what was it, 50, 60% chance of rain. Not a drop.
Wow. That's so sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sad.
Everyone was kind of looking forward to the rain. It was supposed to get some rain in the morning and stop, you know, early afternoon. Not a drop. No.
All right.
It got nice and humid, though.
Sorry?
It got nice and
You'd
humid,
like to-
though.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little on my end today.
Oh.
He's breaking up. He's breaking up.
I'm losing it.
All right, let's move on to events and cover those real quick. There's not much on the calendar for this week, but I did want to throw out one that came in a while ago to our community calendar. We usually get most of the stuff off of the chamber one, but the one that came into our community calendar was for the senior citizens of the Chihuahua Valley, a coffee social hour at the Chihuahua Senior Center, and that happens the first and third Tuesday at 10 a.m. It's the third Tuesday.
It is. It is.
So you got a 10 a.m. there at the Senior Center. Have coffee with friends. Maybe
There you
make
go.
some new ones.
That is not on the community calendar.
It is. It is on ours.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That one usually
All right.
is.
What do we have going on this week off of the Chambers calendar?
From 9:30 to 11:30 tomorrow is adult pickleball up at the golf course. That tech help that's usually at the library from 3 to 4 p.m. is canceled. Right now they are doing renovations to the library. They found some asbestos inside the library, so they actually had to seal it off, get everybody out. And they're working on the remediation for that. Remediation? That's the right word, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. There's a couple of the events they're still doing out on the grass, like the story time, but for the rest of it, everything is canceled for the time being. The bookmobile.
But story time happening today at 10:30 in the grass.
Yep, story time is happening today in the grass in front of the library. The bookmobile is out behind the building in the parking lot of the Civic Center.
Okay.
So back behind the building. So the you can still get books. You can still order books if there's something that they don't have in the bookmobile that you would like to get. They can get it for you. But in the meantime, all the indoor events except for that story time have been canceled until the renovations are complete.
Okay.
So
All right.
just to keep everybody safe. Then Food Bank is open Thursday morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Then Craig Meyer Karaoke is at Oasis for all the singers out there. It's our very own Friday morning DJ, our newest morning show co-host, going to be hosting karaoke. Then Friday morning, the Chihuahua Chamber of Commerce meetings at the casino from 7 to 8 a.m. Adult pickleball back at the golf course from 9 a.m. to 11:30. Then, of course, it's the Friday Farmers Market in the park from 11 to 3:30. Are you
Sorry, I'm goofing off while Chuck's talking.
He's trying not to see me.
I don't want anybody to see my eyes today. I'm going to be having that block, or then I'll wait.
I understand. I understand. It's one of those days. Yeah. Then from Saturday from 9:30 till 1 o'clock is the Colville Valley Animal Sanctuary Vaccination Clinic. Again, that happens from 9:30 to 1. I'm trying to pull up the address right now. That address is 501 Old Arden Highway in Colville. You can call 509-684-1475 if you happen to be standing by with a pen ready at that moment. I read the number. You can give them a call and find out more information. They say that you do need to have your dogs leashed, your cats and carriers, if you're going to come and get that. They have a whole bunch of services for very reasonable prices.
Okay.
And then it's the McQueen. I'm calling it the radio station family taking over the Fired Up Pizza Blues and Brews Jam. We have the whole McQueen family. We have the Friday night DJ Old Man Mark. We have Paula's husband. My goodness, you know, the family has two first names. There's Daniel. Daniel is his name. I know his name, but I always want to call him Randall. But that is his last name. They're all going to be there jamming away, and they invite you to bring your axe and join the jam.
All right.
So there you go.
What was our code word for your mic's too low?
Purple unicorn. No, I don't know.
Purple unicorn.
There we go.
Purple unicorn, Chuck.
I don't remember what it was.
There, that's much better. I think that's why you were breaking up on my end.
Okay.
You're a little soft in the midsection.
The code word.
Code word is unicorn.
The code word is tater tot.
Oh, we changed it. That's right. Forgive me.
It changes every hour, so we don't,
Oh,
get infiltrated.
I wasn't kept up to date on that then.
No, I think we did say it was unicorn jokingly, but then you said, "When am I ever gonna work unicorn into a sentence, Chuck?"
Strangely enough, shortly.
Right? Ooh, are you really?
Shortly. At some point during the show, we will talk about unicorns. I promise.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right.
my
So a
unicorn
little
sucks.
bit of news headlines before we get to some funniest stuff. Chuck is
Yes, sir.
standing by with the corniest joke ever. So just hang in there with us, okay?
Yeah.
Get that pen Chuck was talking about. You might want to write it down.
You want to write down this joke? All right.
Yeah. Not yet. Don't do it yet.
Okay.
Save
don't
it.
do it. Okay.
All
I'm gonna save it.
All right. President Biden capped off the first night of the Democratic National Convention with a speech where he sought to reframe his record and pass the torch to a younger generation of leaders. Biden's speech, along with touting his accomplishments, he reaffirmed his support for, Kamala Harris. Kamala. I always say it wrong. Kamala. As the party's presidential nominee. She's tough, she's experienced, and she has enormous integrity, he said. And then you can also, if you go to Yahoo, they have their daily brief, and you can fact check the speech, which I thought was cool. Usually you don't have to do that with Democrats. Sometimes, though. Sometimes. All right. Several speakers highlighted
Sometimes they
Harris.
tell the truth, or sometimes it's a lie.
Both.
Okay.
You're totally confused now, aren't you?
I think that's just politics in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Several speakers highlighted Harris's middle-class background and her advocacy for workers. 1.3 women went on stage to defend abortion rights by sharing their personal traumatic stories. Tonight, former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama will take the stage to support Harris's nomination. Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is also slated to speak.
Very cool.
New CDC report found that even as the U.S. birth rate declines, a growing number of women are going through pregnancy without prenatal care, suggesting more women are unable to access OBGYNs.
Hey, just really quick, what are the dates of the Democratic Convention? Does it go all the way
I don't
through
know
the
when it
weekend?
ends. Yeah, I hope it doesn't go all week long.
I hope it does. I hope it goes through Sunday
Why?
because I want to hear Sunday from the Democratic Convention. We got to hear that.
Like a cage fight.
Yeah, exactly. We'll invite Trump over. We'll get some referees. We'll get Joe Rogan there. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
It'll be great.
All right, let's see. Where did I leave off? Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said Israel agreed to a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza and called on Hamas to accept the terms of the deal as talks continue through this week. FBI confirmed Iran was behind Donald Trump's campaign hack and ongoing attempts to breach both campaigns. What would be their goal with that?
To make either of the candidates look bad.
Hit them both, though. That's just odd. All right. Remember George Santos?
Unfortunately.
He's pleaded guilty to wire fraud and identity theft.
Wow. Is he still holding his office though?
No. Well, they kicked him out a long time ago, and then he was going to run again, and then he dropped out. Since he pleaded guilty, he's likely to spend at least 6 years in prison and owe $570,000 in restitution.
Thank goodness.
So when's the other trial with that other guy that lied about everything gonna wrap up?
Which one?
The big one. All right. Love Island USA reunion. Peacock aired its much anticipated Love Island USA reunion to answer some of the biggest questions remaining from the season, including which couples are still together. I've never even heard of Love Island USA, but it sounds like a place I might want to visit.
You don't watch Love Island?
No, especially if people are splitting up.
Yeah. I don't watch it either.
All right. What's happening today? Broadcast coverage of DNC begins at 7 p.m. Eastern on major news networks. Women's basketball, Sparks and the Sun take the court at 7 p.m. Eastern on WNBA League Pass. And in baseball, White Sox and the Giants play at 9:45 Eastern on the Major League Baseball app. There you go. You are pretty much up to date, except for scientists had another breakthrough on creating fusion, the holy grail of the energy sector, theoretically offering abundant, essentially zero pollution power in a small physical footprint. And on Yahoo today, they got a picture of the machine. Looks pretty impressive.
Wow.
It's giant magnets holding two. So they used to split an atom, and that's how we came up with the atomic bomb and nuclear reactors. Fusion is combining two atoms and harnessing the energy that gives off, which is basically like creating a sun.
Wow.
Yeah.
The possibilities are wonderful, but the possibilities of bad things happening with this are also high.
Yeah. The aliens fly by and go, "What happened to that planet that used to be here?" And the other alien looks at him and says, "Fission."
Oh. When are these inferior species going to learn?
Yeah. The sound when the Earth disappears that it makes is that's it. Just and they were gone.
Right.
Oh, bring on the fusion. Something bad happens. It's already bad enough. Come on. We want some free energy. All right. I posted this on our Facebook feed and pinned it to the top of the page for today. Ooh. I'm sure Brandon will undo that. But we were talking last week about that national breach, that company called National Public Data, also known as their corporate company is Jericho Pictures. They had data on 3 billion people across the world. They got hacked and lost it all.
Yep.
You can go to this website and put in your information. You don't have to give your social security number, but you do your first, last state that you've lived in, and you want to do all the states that you've lived in, and then your birth year. Let's see. I came up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 times. My social security number has been breached.
Wow.
Funny thing is here, they ain't getting nothing from me.
Right? I always say that to the identity thefts. If you want to steal my identity, joke's on you, buddy.
Yeah. Good luck with that car loan.
You reap what you sow there. You don't want that.
And I'm not going to tell them about the warrants.
Ooh. I don't have any of those, thank goodness. Not that I know of.
No, I've never had a warrant.
Do you ever have those things like I went on one time and I did a search of myself and it popped up with I had a warrant and it was in a state that I didn't live in, but I was in for a while. And it seemed legitimate. I didn't go too far into it, but it turned out it was a scam. It was one of those oh, you have a warrant, click here to pay for the information to find out more, blah, blah, blah. And then
like that phone call you get that says there's a judgment against you and the police are coming if you don't call this number.
Yeah. And then it tells you like, oh yeah, you don't have one after all. Look at that. Congratulations. Yeah.
I wish I knew where the recording was. It's buried in one of the computers in the studio you're in. But that came to the radio station, so I hooked up the recorders and I called the number. First thing they say is, we're recording this conversation. And I said, I'm recording the conversation too. Is that okay? And they said yes. And I recorded the conversation where I totally messed with them. The gal on the other end of the phone 100% fell for it. I had her in a panic. She thought I was somebody that knew her mom. And, I'm doing I can't believe you're swindling me. I'm telling your mom you're a horrible person. And she freaking out. I got the whole thing on tape, and then I played it back because at that time Chwila was getting they were hitting the 935, the 509-935 hard with this scam.
Yeah.
Everybody in town was getting them. So it was very fun to be able to point out that is, in fact, a scam. And then I got several high fives when I went to the post office that day.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I heard you with that woman today. That was awesome. So, yeah, it was pretty cool.
There's one going around right now. I got one yesterday. It's supposedly from the IRS saying you don't have to pay your IRS debt. There's a new program. Call this number. But they say they're from the IRS. They're saying that you do have past tax debt, but don't worry. There's a new program. You don't have to pay it, and you don't even have to fill anything out. Just ignore it. And
wow.
I think the only point of it is to get people to not pay their taxes and to mess with people.
Wow.
There's no number to call back. It's just a message that says, "Hey, don't worry about paying your taxes. You don't have to this year." I'm like, wow, that's
Somebody's having fun.
right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, that breach is on our Facebook page with a link if you want to check it out. If 3 billion people across the globe got hit with this, there's only 6 billion people on the planet, 6.6. So chances are you're in there too.
You got a
Sorry.
50-50 chance.
You get a 50-50 chance. Maybe Chuck will check his during the break.
Yeah.
Last thing is coming up May 7th, you will have to have a real ID to fly anywhere in the U.S.
Really?
Anywhere in the U.S., not just foreign countries. Of course, you probably need a passport for that. But the real ID, anywhere in the U.S. So now, states are going to, especially like Washington, they're going to hit you hard on the price of this.
Oh, yeah.
Just skip it and go with a passport. It's so much better.
But is it easier?
A passport?
Yeah.
Super easy.
Because
They last 10 years.
Mhm.
And there's a grace period if you forget and lose it. I caught the grace period, and I could do it online and submit my own photo. It's so easy.
Oh, nice.
You don't even, if you've had a passport and you keep it current, or if it's only lapsed for a short period of time, you don't have to see anybody. It's just it's more double dipping, and they passed this law for the Real ID Act in 2005.
Yeah, I know it's been a long time coming.
It's taken them 20 years to institute it. Wow.
And I know they kept pushing it back. And there's some states that implemented it a while ago, right? For in-state, especially states with borders, but I don't know.
I got a message for the federal government.
Okay.
When I think of the time and the money I've wasted on your training, and you still turn out to be a blithering idiot, you're an utter failure. You make me sick.
Yeah.
But it does get you into Canada and Mexico, doesn't it?
A real ID?
Yeah, doesn't it?
I'm not going to speak to that. I do not know.
Yeah, I don't.
That could be an ugly rumor.
Yeah, let's not go there. Let's say you should call your DMV and check.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, if you don't want to deal with that driver's license and you want to keep getting a cheap one, you could get a passport and then maybe actually go somewhere besides Spokane.
Right?
Chuck.
I was going to fly to Kennewick.
You got to know to the other day that our Facebook page was being hacked, but it was Chuck in Spokane.
Yeah, I do that.
See, he goes places.
Yeah, I do. I get around, one of those types of guys.
I think that is my last story. There you go. I'll shut up now. We twist our heads around sideways to Bits and Breaks, where, Chuck, we teased it. I hope you're still here. It is the corniest joke of all time from Chuck Ritchie.
I have been waiting and waiting for this, Scott. I've been waiting for this my whole life. No, I haven't.
Okay.
But I did have a joke about time travel. Yeah,
Okay.
You guys didn't like it.
I had a joke about time travel, but you didn't like it. Okay.
No, it was awful, man. Yeah, you guys should have been there. Oh, you were.
It's, I broadcast from home. It's 7:45, and I'm thinking if Chuck would just say a dirty word right now, I can be back in bed by 8.
All right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
You ready?
Ready.
No, I'm not going to do it.
All right. How about giving us 4 things that Scott didn't know yesterday?
Yeah, an ostrich's eye, Scott, similar to some humans, is bigger than its brain.
I did not know that.
Yeah, actually, no humans have eyeballs bigger than their brain.
Wish I did.
Sure seems like it sometimes.
Are you sure, though? Are you positive on that one?
It would be a good excuse. It would at least be a reason.
I mean, look at George Bush. He had little tiny, tiny eyes.
He did have teeny little eyes.
He did.
Little beady eyes. I bet you
Hold on.
Scotty's on fire.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
I bet he had a great giggle though. Have you ever heard George W. giggle?
No.
I bet he has. I bet he has a good one. Yeah.
We need somebody to tickle him.
Right, Laura. Laura
Okay.
Bush. Okay. The universe contains an estimated 100 billion galaxies, each with an average of 100 billion stars.
I never knew that either, Chuck.
And considering each one of those stars as its own solar system surrounded by a number of planets, the odds of life on another planet are nearly 100%.
Okay.
All right. Australia, wider than the moon.
Wider than the moon.
Wider than the moon. Not whiter.
Wider than the moon. Okay.
Wider. Wider.
Wider than
Yeah.
So Stevens County.
Right. And speaking of, Scott, the Scotland national animal is the unicorn.
Scotland's national animal is the
I
unicorn?
have heard that before. Their national animal is, in fact, the unicorn.
Here's one of their favorite commercials. Can I just give like a piece of it?
Yeah.
All right. New unicorn spam, now with bigger pieces of unicorn horns and sprinkles. Unicorns, there's magic in every bite.
My unicorn meat tingles.
It's sparkles.
That's how you know it's working, kid.
Yeah, I think it wasn't sprinkles. It was supposed to be sparkles. That's right.
Oh,
Sparkles.
okay.
Now it's sparkles.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a unicorn. All right, here comes your back to school quiz. It's back to school time for kids and parents. That means spending money for clothes, school supplies, and more. Let's take the back to school quiz, Chuck, and see if you are prepared.
Okay, I'm ready.
Don't
I'm
tell
ready.
anybody that you homeschool because that'll mess up the whole bit.
I wasn't going to say a thing. You did that for me.
Excellent.
You messed
All
up
right,
the bit
now
for me.
nobody
Thanks.
knows. We're sure of that, so let's keep going. All right. Fancy sneakers are always expensive. Save money by A, polishing up last year's shoes with some white polish.
Mhm,
Ooh, I like
mhm.
that. Putting new shoelaces in last year's shoes so they look newer.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah.
All right. If your kid's stunted and doesn't grow, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Any,
Or just
any,
give them the really tight shoes. Yeah.
any kid with shoes that last more than a semester, that's pretty good.
All right. Having your kid wear the sneaker shoe boxes. They're cheaper and they still carry the trendy logo.
Oh.
Which one, Chuck?
I'm going to go with D, all of the above.
Okay.
All of the above, yeah.
Next. I only
Yeah,
have two questions.
It's good to
all
have
right?
options.
When shopping for clothing, cut costs by A, purchasing items that won't be out of style in 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
B, have them wear hand-me-downs from an older sibling. Or C, fashion brown grocery store bags into T-shirts and khaki shorts.
Oh, I like that one. We're going to go with the grocery bags.
I think so too, because not only that, if you got like a bigger bag, you might end up kind of looking like SpongeBob.
Well, there you go. And you pay 8 cents a piece for those things anyway, so you might as well get your money's worth.
All right.
And if it's raining, you use the plastic ones, you see?
Oh.
Yep,
okay.
yep. You
If your kids are really small.
you can also melt them and lay the hot melted plastic directly on your kid's feet.
Oh.
To go with the question number 1 about the shoes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe a little more serious. It's a guide for a college freshman because they're taking off too. And here's Chuck Ritchie.
All right, so this comes from Chicago Sun-Times contributor Richard Roper. This is from a guide he wrote once for college freshmen. He said, you can never have enough toilet paper. Hoard extra rolls whenever you can, but don't tell anybody about it, not even your roommate.
That sounds like COVID.
Right?
Yeah.
I would say especially your roommate. When you head to your first spring break and a TV crew or YouTuber urges you to lift your shirt, just remember that video will last forever. You could be running for Congress someday, and they'll be showing your slow motion footage of you sticking your tongue out and flashing your assets. Yeah.
Well, for guys, it won't be that bad. That's kind of unfair, maybe, though.
I mean, speak for yourself, Scott.
Yeah. Now that you say that, I'm picturing J.D. Vance without his shirt on. On my couch.
Back away from the Davenport. All right. Don't kid yourself. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday class that starts at 8 a.m. is in fact a bad idea.
Oh,
And
it is.
It is. If you're going to do an early morning class, do one that's every day. Don't do the occasional early morning because you will not make that class.
I signed up for broadcast law in college, and it was at 7:10 a.m. It was, and all that class was, what do you call it when they just talk? Lecture.
A lecture.
It was a lecture test, and then you would get tested on her lectures. 7:10 a.m. Do you know how hard that is to listen to somebody lecture you? It was painful. I had to,
I'm getting bored just listening to the story.
exactly. I had to resort to for that 7:10 class to get through it. I would stop on my way to school at the Quickie Mart. I would buy 2 Jolt Colas. I would drink one in the car and the other one in class. That's the only way I could stay awake for broadcast law.
Wow.
That's why when you ask me questions about what's the law for this, I say, Chuck, look it up.
Google it. That is the second time I've heard Jolt Cola brought up in the last couple days.
I miss Jolt Cola.
That was good. Like, it was not even just for the caffeine. Like, I remember I preferred it over like Coke or Pepsi even.
It was a big deal for a while.
Yeah, it was. But
right.
then they stopped. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
Now we have these gross energy drinks. All right. Tattoos of school mascots. Wait until your sophomore year just in case year one doesn't go as planned.
Okay.
That's good advice.
Bad.
Yeah. Nobody cares if you cut class. This ain't high school. If you don't go to class, it just means that you or your parents are paying a lot of money for you to sleep in. Think about how stupid that is, Scott.
Shame on Shame on me.
And no one cares if you cancel a class. If you're not going to go, cancel the class before it's too late. I had a couple my college experience that I was intending on canceling the class, and instead of actually going to the counselor's office and going through the procedure to cancel the class, I just stopped going.
Which gives you a failed grade and brings your GPA down.
Yeah. If you're gonna cancel a class, if you're not gonna go to a class, that's fine, but make sure you actually cancel the class. Not going.
Come on, Chuck. You can't just swim, eat grapes, and play around all the time.
That was college for Chuck.
Yeah, I've told you once. I can and I will. Okay. With that said, though, when you look back at your college days, education is not going to be the first thing you're going to think about. You're going to remember the deep friendships you forged, the loves you discovered, and the hardest laughs you've ever laughed, and some of the deepest disappointments you've ever felt.
Oh, man.
Like the time you nearly qualified for the Olympics for your high diving. Do you remember that, Scott?
No.
Yeah. I believe I have some live footage of that event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Up next, it's Scott Sloffman on the high dive.
Where is he? I can't see him.
Here he goes. He's doing a triple Lundy. Yeah.
He's so tiny, nobody saw it.
So close, Scott.
I tell you now, though, if I jumped off the high dive, there'd be no more water left in the pool.
Last advice here. Okay, I read that last part wrong. So college is a crash course for the rest of your life. So don't just attend.
Try.
So be present. Yeah.
Yeah. Try.
For a second, I thought it said, so just don't attend.
Skip it. Most people do.
It's not just don't. It's don't just.
Yep. Don't just.
Yeah. Big big change there. Yeah.
All right. Here's a list of things I've come up with to ask on a first date, or, as I have done, just simply post all these on a dating app. Okay?
Okay.
So these are things to ask a potential girlfriend, mate, wife, whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
If no one ever sneezed again, how long do you think it would take until you noticed?
Ooh.
Not my best one, just saying. Okay.
I'm guessing it would take years.
You could be.
I probably never notice.
Why, I haven't sneezed in at least 30 days. This one, definitely important. Which cult would you be most interested in joining, and why? One of those ones where they think the alien's coming, and then they all drink the Kool-Aid. That's me.
Yeah. Is it? Wow.
Maybe not. All right.
You had me until the Kool-Aid part, Scott.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Forget the Kool-Aid. This
prefer
one I
the
want to
powdered
ask
lemonade.
Chuck, not a date. I want to ask Chuck this one because was it last Tuesday? Yeah, last Tuesday we asked Chuck if he wanted a third arm, and he chose yes, and we asked him where to put it, and he said the belly button because it would make reach arounds easier.
No, I said because it would give you the triangle of strength, the triangle of power.
Oh,
You'd be able
I
to
said the
carry
reach
more
around.
stuff.
So this is just as important of a question to put to you, Chuck. If you could breed two different species of animals together, which ones would they be?
That is an easy one, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to go with an elephant and a mouse. So you could have tiny little pocket-sized elephants that you could keep as pets.
Huh.
That's been a lifelong dream of mine, to be able to have a tiny little elephant as a pet.
Or on the opposite, having a giant mouse as a pet that could eat you.
Okay, well, maybe I didn't fully think this through.
Okay. Let's try another.
Okay.
I'm pretending you're my date, okay?
All right.
All right. Be one of the worst dates I ever had. Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud? Did that come over the radio?
What did you say?
All right. If the purge was real, honey, what crime are you committing first?
Oh, man. You actually want me to answer this? On the air?
Name a crime on your list.
Honestly, I'd probably rob a bank.
Probably rob a bank.
Yeah.
I think if the purge was real, all the banks would be closed on that day, but good luck.
Well, that's why you break in, Scott.
Oh,
yeah.
All right. So you're going to like Mission Impossible it from the ceiling.
Or maybe I might get that new truck I've been needing.
Equally important question for a potential girlfriend. How many countries have you gone to the bathroom in?
Oh, that's actually a cool question. I like that. Yeah. Because when you mark it off the calendar, it's not a matter of just driving through an area. You have to stop and use the bathroom to consider marking it on your travel calendar as a place you've been, right? Isn't that the rule?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I like to do is just go up to the border and do that thing guys can do that girls can't.
Just stand on one side and
Never
go on the
actually
other.
step foot in.
I'm not in your country. I'm not touching it.
But I left my mark. How many? Okay. If there was a book of every positive and negative thing people have said about you, would you want to read it?
No. I don't think I
Really?
would.
I think I'd want to know how I could be better.
Oh. Wow. Look at Scott being profound.
But some people are just going to hate you no matter what, even
That's
though you've
true.
maybe never done anything to them.
That's true.
Have you experienced that yet in radio? Because it happens a lot in radio.
Oh yeah. I've had to block a couple people and get just random messages, and we had one last week. It was a random email. Just okay, click, delete, moving along.
Years ago, I was at the classic rock station in Spokane, and one of the sponsors was Budweiser. And at the time, they were supporting a gun ban.
Mm-hmm.
And it made a lot of people mad. This was years and years ago. And after a Budweiser commercial, I had somebody tell me he was coming down with his gun to kill me at the radio station because he hated me.
What?
Yeah, it makes you a little nervous.
For a Budweiser commercial?
Yes, it set him off. He's probably a little loosely wound anyways.
Oh, so he was like a Miller Lite type of guy?
I guess. I don't know if I did the right thing. I said, hey, buddy, I go everywhere with my gun. Come on down.
Wow.
I didn't have one, so I was pretty scared and wondering if that was the right thing to say.
Sir, I challenge you to a duel.
I challenge you to a duel in front of the radio station at 3 a.m. I should have said, why don't you pick on one of the popular DJs that work the day shift?
Help. Yeah. Good morning, Ken. Ken says good morning. He also says
morning,
that
Ken.
he peed in the ocean. Now he's in every country.
Oh, that's kind of disgusting.
Right?
Everywhere you go, there's a little bit of Ken.
There you go. I knew that trip was special. Thanks,
But
Ken.
he's just so people know he's not like Barbie's Ken.
No, he's
No.
much cooler than that.
Much cooler.
Yeah.
All right. I have a couple more.
Okay.
Do you think bras exist in the Star Wars universe? Maybe not a good question to ask a potential date.
Well, there was the whole scene with Princess Leia. She was wearing a bra that whole scene, wasn't she, or was that more of a bikini?
That's all she was wearing.
Right.
And that's more like a top, a swimming top.
Yeah,
I wouldn't count that as a bra.
that's true. Well, don't a lot of them have like the hard plastic Madonna bras?
I don't know. I've never worn one. I know you're surprised by that, but
I'm a little surprised.
little surprised.
You never took your oil funnel from working on your car and made a bra with them? No.
No.
Pretended you were Madonna,
No.
singing into your wrench like a microphone.
Road cones, though. Road cones, yes.
Road cones. Yeah.
Okay.
See?
Oh no, I hate to ask Chuck these questions because you never know what you're going to get.
Okay.
If you had to replace your hands, Chuck, with two objects for the rest of your life, what would they be?
Wow. Claws, probably. I mean, something that it would be similarly functional. I would
Claws.
imagine.
Freddy Krueger hands.
No, that would
Put
be.
claws on.
Could you imagine going to the bathroom with Freddy Krueger claws?
I can't even imagine you going to the bathroom.
That would be rough. I appreciate that, Scott.
I'm going to need an assistant.
So you get the ones like for people that are, after they go have surgery, there you put your toilet paper on the stick. And you ever seen that? Yeah.
I'm going to clever this one up, and if I
Okay.
was going to have to replace my hands, because they don't work very well anyways, with two other things for the rest of my life, I would choose robot hands. Thank you.
There you go.
Ooh, this one's good. If you had a chance to rename the Earth, what would you call it?
Sadness.
Sadness. Wow. I think I would call it the big tumor in space.
The pit of despair.
A tumor. A tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Summer. Hold on.
Okay.
It's not a tumor.
It's Earth.
There you go.
See, it works kind of.
Tumor.
All right, Chuck. Summer's wrapping up, and Chuck Ritchie all prepared with some crazy travel stories.
That's right. I got out and did some traveling the other day. I traveled all the way to Spokane to a coffee shop. Yep. Where I tried to
be alone.
where I tried to hack our own Facebook.
It worked.
It's a lonely existence. Yep.
Right.
No, I was there with the kids. I dropped them off at an event and got some work done. Yep.
All right.
So
cool.
the Lonely Planet Guidebook asks people to step in and share some of their travel oopsies. This person said, I didn't realize after moving from the U.S. to Australia that flights are listed in military time. I missed a 6 a.m. flight. I thought it was 6 p.m.
Huh.
That seems like an honest mistake.
I think if you're traveling across country in a car after eating all that gas station food, you might have an oops.
Right? Yeah. That's pretty common.
And it didn't work. I'm sorry.
That's why you should take the lesson from what's her name, that former astronaut, and drive across country wearing a diaper.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that alone.
What's it like taking a cross country trip with a psychotic ex-astronaut, Scott?
I don't know.
Depends.
Oh.
Sorry. All right. In France, I thought I was asking directions to a train station, but was asking directions to the war. That was met with a very French set of raised eyebrows. Huh?
Oh. That's the only French. I can kind of make a French.
There you go. I walked to a Korean temple in Seoul. I took photos. I walked a half hour to another Korean temple and took more photos. It turned out to be the same temple.
Going in circles.
I've done that in Washington, D.C. before. You walk around, and all of a sudden, wait a minute. This is where I was before. Yeah. Yeah, you don't realize when you're standing at like the Capitol building to get to the Washington Monument, it looks like it's right in front of you. We walked for an hour, still only about halfway there. Yeah, it's a lot further than it seems. Yeah. Okay, using my best Chinese at a local market, I thought I was ordering bamboo shoots. When I got home and looked up, the word I realized I'd ordered was pig kidneys.
Oh, and they just happen to have them.
Of course. Well, it's a
All right, go into the local grocery store, go to the butcher and ask him if you could get some pig kidneys and see how well it works for you.
Have you ever been to one of those Asian markets, man?
No, but I've heard stories. One of our listeners, Ron, that checks in, has traveled extensively, and he says you can smell them from blocks away. It is the most putrid thing on the planet. He says no wonder why they have problems like that's where SARS came from, possibly where COVID came from. He said no wonder that they have such a problem with diseases mutating. He says because you will have rabbits on top of foxes, on top of dogs, on top of cats. They're all in crates, so they all go to the bathroom on each other. And he said it's absolutely horrible.
Oh,
so, sorry.
Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria.
Wow, that sounds horrible.
It
Ugh.
does.
Oh. All right. We took a train from Rome to Orvieto, Italy, and I couldn't figure out how to get to open the train doors, and ended up 4 towns away before we could get off. Yeah. Figure out how these things work first. Last one here. I was texting and enjoying the view of Paris from our balcony. I dropped my iPhone. It was gone before I could get down to get it.
Oh.
Chances
I kind of had one. Goes along with this. I had a lady call me for an Airbnb and said she was supposed to be here in Lincoln, Maine, but she had driven to Lincoln, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
It's 400 miles.
Yeah. I remember you
Across
telling
the
me.
state line in the wrong direction.
In the wrong state. Wow. We were in Mexico once. My wife's passport expired while we were in Mexico.
Oh no!
There was a little bleepity bleep moment. Coming back across through the border was a little tense, but they didn't even question it. They're just like, "All right, you have a nice day." I don't even think they looked at it properly. They just kind of glanced at it. And
Wow, lucky.
yeah, of course, if
So we're moving to Mexico.
if anyone's ever seen my wife, she's very clearly not Mexican.
All right, last one, Chuck.
Oh, that was the last one.
Did you do you didn't do the cell phone?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just
All right.
did it,
Sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
Dropped the
Maybe
cell
I should
phone.
listen.
It was gone. You
All
should
right.
listen better,
Let's wrap that up. We're at 11:10. You up for a couple trivia questions before we go to break, Chuck?
Scott. I am. Let's do it.
Excellent.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
All right. Ken had jumped in and said, Chuck Scissorhands.
That's what they called me in high school. I still don't know why. I did stab a guy in the face with a pair of scissors in high school. It was
You stabbed him in the face?
Well, it was really more of an accidental. He was holding the scissors and pretending to cut my hair, and I told him 10 times, Bert. His name was Bert. You better stop that. I'm going to turn around and punch you. He kept pretending to cut my hair. I turned around. I wasn't even going to punch him. I was just pretending like it, And he flinched. And when I came up, my arm hit his forearm and went shunk. And it was those big metal teacher scissors. It hit him so hard, and just between like the bottom of the corner of the eye and his nose, it actually broke the tip of the scissors off, and they went shunk and stuck in the bone in his skull.
Did you get in trouble, Chuck?
I did not get in trouble. No, we both went to well, he went to the nurse first, and then we went to the principal's office to explain ourselves and explained exactly what happened. And Bert said, "Yeah, I was being really stupid and annoying," and he warned me he was going to do it, and it was an accident. And we actually became really good friends after that. Yeah.
Sorry about your eye.
Bert was one of those,
friend.
right? No, he was one of those. He was a year or two younger than me. He was really hyper, kind of obnoxious kid. He thanked me later and said, I didn't realize until that moment how much people didn't like me and how annoying I truly was. And that sort of helped me realize that, man, I need to stop being such a little. He wasn't a jerk. He was actually a really nice kid, just annoying, Yeah. Turned out to be a really nice guy, actually. Ended up being friends. Still friends to this day. Yeah.
All right.
There you go, Bert.
First trivia question. How many friends? No.
Right.
Each year in the U.S., approximately 80,000 people are bitten by what?
80,000?
People.
I would say a dog, but that seems like a low number for dogs. Bitten by a turtle.
No.
That seems high for a turtle.
Yeah.
Is it a household animal?
Mammal.
It's a mammal, but not like a house pet.
Not like a house pet, no. But you might find it in a house. You probably would find it in a house. You will find it in a house.
And it's a mammal?
Yeah.
A mouse?
No.
No. A squirrel? Yeah, I wouldn't find a squirrel in the house. Well, maybe occasionally.
No. It's not a rodent.
It's not a rodent. Does it fly?
Yes.
Is it a bat?
No.
It flies. It's not a bat. Is it a mosquito?
It's a mammal. It's in your house.
Okay. It's a mammal in your house.
Mosquito is not a mammal.
A mosquito is not a mammal. No, in fact, it is not. It's not a pet, but it is in your house.
You missed the most
is
obvious.
It a human?
People are actually screaming. I bet you Ken's even post this on Facebook.
Is it a human?
It is a human.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You guessed everything but Chuck. So, and I figured that was a good trip up when you said, do they fly? Yeah, of course they do. If they got a ticket. Or you launch them from a catapult.
We were just talking about that. You need to get your enhanced ID.
All right, breakfast bingo. You have to spell or sell the word bingo.
Okay.
All right. Something a military airplane drops.
A bomb.
Feature on a refrigerator that's accessible from the outside.
Ice maker.
One of Major League Baseball's two leagues.
NFC and AFC. No, that's football. National. I don't watch.
You got it right there. Stop right there. National League.
National League. Okay. I'm not a baseball guy. I don't know this stuff.
I was worried that was going to trip you up.
Yep.
A prestigious music award.
The Grammy.
Also the name of a loved one. Grammy.
Hey, Grammy.
And to discover the starting point of something is to discover its
origin.
There you go, Chuck. You spelled bingo. It's his first time.
Wait till you hear my origin story for my villain.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right, around 1.2 billion of these are used around the world annually. You're supposed to dispose of them properly, and it's not a battery.
Depends undergarment.
Yes. Oh, no. You're stuck on depends today. Is there a problem we need to know about, Chuck?
Is it a diaper?
It is not a diaper.
Okay. And one.
You're really stuck on the depends. Is it a problem, Chuck?
No, it's not actually. 1 billion of them are disposed of every day.
Somebody please startle Chuck today. See if he wets his pants, would you? Thank you.
Read the question again.
Around 1.2 billion of these are used around the world annually. You have to dispose of them properly. Toxic.
Oh, is it a cell phone battery or a cell phone?
I said it wasn't a battery. You were not listening.
Was not a battery. That's my MO, Scott.
It's my MO.
Is it a needle? Or some kind of medical device?
It is not. Give up?
I give up. I do.
Oh, inkjet cartridge.
Oh, wow. We've never gone that way.
All right. Every year in the U.S., 46,000 people are injured by these things on buildings.
Gargoyles.
I wish.
Right?
Wouldn't that be cool?
A gargoyle problem. Injured by these things on buildings. Automatic doors.
I'll take that. The correct answer was I was looking for was doors.
Okay.
There was a game, but I just don't think it's a good idea. It says you have 15 seconds to name 10 words that begin with the letters SH, and I think that's a little too dangerous for radio. So, when we come back, we're going to have local birthdays, today's odd news, and we got some real goofy holidays. So stick around. It's Northern Lights Public Radio, KCHW 102.7.
Scotty's on fire.
It's not a tumor.
Crazy. No name, a hard hat. Hard hat.
We are the wild and crazy guys.
Come on, you know who your daddy is. Who's your daddy? Tell him who his daddy is.
I'm your daddy.
It's 8:18.
And by Chihuahua Flooring.
Chihuahua Flooring at 214 East Clay in the 3rd Street Mall offers a wide variety of products, including carpet, ceramic and porcelain tile, vinyl and laminate planks, and vinyl sheet flooring. Chihuahua Flooring carries products for both commercial businesses and residential homes, including brands like National Flooring, Del Tile, Mannington, and Mohawk. They also offer blind repair. For more information, you can visit online at chihuahuaflooring.com, call 509-935-8021, or via email at chihuahuaflooring@gmail.com.
This is KCHW 102.7.
The Public News Service Daily Newscast, August 20th, 2024. I'm Farah Siddiqui. President Joe Biden took to the Democratic National Convention podium Monday to kick off the party's event in Chicago. Meanwhile, U.S. intelligence has confirmed former President Donald Trump's claims that his campaign was breached by Iranian hackers. In preparation for the upcoming legislative session, workers at Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families are interviewing Arkansans about their health coverage and finances. Frida Ross has more.
The nonprofit advocates for families before state and national lawmakers. Camille Richoux says many residents are still dealing with the after effects of Medicaid unwinding.
Having to choose between medications at the pharmacy, people who are saying, what's the most important prescription of all the prescriptions that I have that's going to keep me alive? And that has impacts on their long-term health.
She says more than 270,000 adults and around 150,000 children lost coverage last year. Many people didn't know they were uninsured until they tried to schedule doctor's appointments.
The Biden-Harris administration's move to stand up to big drug companies is seen as a first step in reining in price gouging.
As advocacy groups take a victory lap for moving lawmakers to finally allow Medicare to negotiate lower prices for 10 widely used medicines, a new report details how the makers of those drugs have gouged billions of taxpayer and consumer dollars. Kyle Herrig with the group Accountable.us says drug makers have exploited U.S. patent laws to control prices for decades.
These kind of tactics keep prices high for the consumers and often lead to patients skipping doses, disproportionately affecting lower-income Black and Latin American communities.
Drug makers have routinely paid competitors to delay the introduction of cheaper generic versions of popular drugs. I'm Eric Galatis.
From government planners to farmers to residents, those wondering how climate change will impact Minnesota in future decades can now get that information at their fingertips. Officials behind a new tool say it helps with certain types of planning.
The University of Minnesota Climate Adaptation Partnership recently launched the interactive digital tool called MinClimate. Users can map out predictions such as how much snow cover would be lost during the winter by the year 2060 based on scenarios involving greenhouse gas emissions. The partnership's interim director, Nate Myers, says they want to help the public make informed decisions when looking ahead.
So, for instance, if someone is wondering when they might want to replace their roof with something like a fortified roofing system, one way that they can gather information to answer that question is to use these climate projections.
The user can try to see how the immediate area surrounding that structure would become more susceptible to heavy rain events. I'm Mike Moen.
This is Public News Service. Tennessee's community health centers are vital to the well-being of nearly 428,000 residents, according to new data. Our Danielle Smith has the details.
These centers must report detailed information annually to the federal government through the Uniform Data System. Tennessee Primary Care Association CEO Libby Thurman.
So these are individuals, most likely children, that are seen in their schools. So looking at trend data from 2020 to 2023, almost a 38% increase in the number of patients seen in that setting.
Meanwhile, in Nashville, Neighborhood Health has expanded its services by 12%, witnessing growth across all patient demographics, including a 31% increase in pediatric patients and a 19% increase in patients from minority groups.
Environmental groups are concerned that part of the proposed Project 2025 calls for closing several federal agencies, including the National Weather Service, that political conservatives consider too powerful or superfluous.
There's a particular concern among Nevadans that science-based agencies, particularly those battling climate change, would be eliminated or their functions privatized. David Kiva with the Environmental Defense Fund Action Agency says agencies such as the National Weather Service would be privately operated to make a profit instead of providing a vital public service.
The idea that you would privatize the National Weather Service doesn't just mean that the quality of the forecast would decline. It also critically means you might not get life or death warning to seek shelter at a time when you really need it.
The Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 is a 900-page plan likely to be adopted if Republicans win control of government. Mark Richardson reporting.
A proposed rule from the U.S. Department of Agriculture would clarify the definition of fair in a century-old law that dictates meat market practices.
The Fair and Competitive Livestock and Poultry Markets Rule would amend regulations under the 1921 Packers and Stockyards Act to define unfair practices as business conduct that harms the market and market participants. Just 4 companies process about 85% of American beef, the result of a long process of corporate consolidation that started in the 1980s and was exposed during COVID-era market disruptions. Longtime South Dakota farmer and rancher Nick Nemec says the proposed rule could help.
If we had, I don't know what the right number is, a dozen, 20 packing plants slaughtering beef, then there'd be real competition in the marketplace.
Vice President Kamala Harris, in a speech last week, said competition helps drive down prices. She also promised to support small businesses and implement a first-ever federal ban on price gouging, an approach her opponents call price control. I'm Kathleen Shannon.
This is Farah Siddiqui for Public News Service, member and listener supported, heard on interesting radio stations, your favorite podcast platform, and you can find our trust indicators at publicnewsservice.org.
KCHW is online at kchw.org. Listen to the live stream, find out about station events, memberships, local weather, and volunteering. You're listening to KCHW 102.7.
What happened?
I hit the stop button instead of the stop after it played button. I just stopped it early.
That's the way, Chuck. Yeah, get up there in front.
That's right.
That's it, Chuck. You're leading. Boy, what a leader. Lead on, Chuck. You're the leader now, Chuck. You're the leader type, and you tell us what to do, and we'll do it. Come on, Chuck, lead. Lead, Chuck, lead. That's it, Chuck, you tell us. We'll follow.
You're holding my hand, Chuck.
Hey, Chuck, we're
You
totally off the
sly
air.
dog.
No, but I mean,
what?
my friend's name is Charles.
We're totally off the air.
He doesn't
Are
like
we
to
really?
be called.
How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a
On the
woodchuck
radio,
could chuck
anyway.
wood?
We're totally off the air. I looked over to check our levels, and nothing's streaming through the board. Did you push a button?
I just play and stop. We are not going out through the air. We're not doing anything.
No.
What's going on? Bear with us for a moment while we figure this out here.
All right. Stand by. We're having technical difficulties.
Nothing is sacred. Even those who arrange and design shrubberies are under considerable economic stress at this period in history.
Are you sure you didn't mute something on the board? Nothing's going to the streamer either. Just saying.
I haven't muted anything. We are still going. We were on
Go
the air.
ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
We
All
could
right.
play a song, get kicked off YouTube.
You know what? I'm looking here. Let me see. Let me find the right mouse. I have like 5 mice here on this desk.
All right.
All right.
I'll just keep sound. There it comes. Here it comes.
Somehow our delay device got turned off.
Oh, it did. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Do you think I accidentally reached over and clicked something and shut it off?
Maybe. I see a mouse flying around the screen right now. That's not me.
Well, that's because I just moved it and said maybe I did this and shut it off. All right. I wonder how long it's been off the. No, because during the first half I looked over and said, "Hey, turn up your mic."
Yeah. I've been watching the stream. So hey, welcome back, everybody. We're back for the second half of the KCHW morning show. Something got turned off, and we are back on the air now. So
just know if we ever go off the air, you can always listen on TuneIn, Radio Deck, right off the website at kchw.org. And if we're live on the morning show, of course, YouTube. And one day, me and Val went to break, and we came back. I forgot to uncheck when I'm initiating the broadcast from Maine, I have to keep the computer muted until we go live. And one day, 20 minutes into the second half of the show, I looked over and noticed we were on everything else, but we weren't on the radio.
Oh, wow.
Always embarrassing. And that's when we play this for ourselves.
When I think of the time and the money I've wasted on your training, and you still turn out to be a blithering idiot, you're an utter failure. You make me sick.
I play that for myself every day.
Well, and if those of you that do tune in online, watch us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, you get to see the behind the stuff of us sitting around going,
All right, I got a cool picture I want to throw up online.
Okay.
All right, just real quick, nothing too big. I just saw this and I went, this is ingenious. How did they do it? It's a full-size ski boat put in butt first into a dumpster.
I'm not even mad.
Impressed.
Yeah. Wow. I'm actually more impressed by the strength of that dumpster and how it doesn't tip the dumpster over.
Well, yeah. Well, the engine's probably in the dumpster, so you got all that weight back there.
Yeah.
But how did they get a full-size ski boat in a dumpster? I like it. Could you imagine the garbage truck when it shows up?
My first instinct is that looks pretty messed up.
All right. How about some local birthdays now that we're live on the radio?
There we go. We don't want to miss these guys. All right. So today on our local Tweela Valley Lions Club calendar, we have Adeline Manis with a birthday. Then Jamie and Tom Brook have an anniversary. And here are a couple of familiar names with anniversaries today. Joe and Heidi Wozinski have an anniversary today. Yeah. There you go. Hopefully they're... I was going to say hopefully they're listening in Belize, but hopefully they're all doing fun anniversary stuff.
I checked Facebook as we were coming back on. I looked at it real quick, and Joe was actually just posted a video of some pretty strong winds in their front yard. So maybe he is. He usually posts.
Maybe they're staying inside during the weather, and they're about to ingratiate us. Is that a word?
Yeah.
With their knowledge.
So there we go. Big round of applause for our birthdays and our anniversaries. You know them, you love them, see them around town. Point and laugh or send them a message and tell them, oh my God, they were talking about you on the radio today.
Yeah, right now. In fact, we're going to just remain silent until Joe comments.
That's what we were doing before.
Right?
That's why there was dead air.
Joe, help. We're up the air.
All right, celebrity birthdays for today. Former news anchor Connie Chung turning 78. By the way, it is the 20th of August. What? Yes, the 20th of August. All right, Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, 76. Peter Horton from 30-something, 71. Weatherman Al Roker, 70. Rapper Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, 54. Kei Hoi Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once, Goonies, Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom, and more is 53. Amy Adams.
Do you believe Short Round? Short Round is 50. Short Round from Indiana Jones is 53 years old.
Yes.
Crazy.
Amy Adams, Enchanted, Arrival, Superman movies, 50. Andrew Garfield from Under the Banner of Heaven and the Spider-Man films, 41. And singer-actor Demi Lovato, who's constantly in crisis, 32.
Is she constantly in crisis?
Yeah, she's just always whining about something online. All right, those Disney kids, they all got messed up.
Right?
Wait, Disney. Did you hear about the Disney lawsuit?
No, which one?
So there was a lawsuit. They dropped it today. There was a lawsuit. A woman had died at Disney World, and her husband was suing them. And they tried to invoke that the person who was at Disneyland was also a Disney Plus subscriber. And because of the box you check there that says they have no liabilities, they were trying to use that as a defense for her dying at Disney World.
Right. I remember that.
And the public freaked out over that, so they dropped it today. They dropped their fight for it and their claim that their membership deprived you of all rights to sue them
for dying in a theme park. You got to read the fine print.
Park and thinking that happens, right?
Right? Yeah, it's not like Disney can't afford it. Come on. One of the wealthiest corporations on the planet.
But how lame. I mean, somebody wasn't watching that they actually let an attorney file something like that. Oh, we can get away because they've signed this arbitration thing and no fault thing with their video service, so we're covered. Whatever.
That's ridiculous. That's horrible.
All right, how about a little history, Chuck Ritchie?
Yeah. Sorry, I got lost in that and just imagining the stupidity behind that.
Yeah.
It made my brain numb for a second. All right. I mean, that doesn't take a lot. My brain's pretty much numb anyway, especially this time of the morning. 1804, Lewis and Clark's Corps of Discovery exploring the Louisiana Purchase suffered its only death when Sergeant Charles Floyd died, apparently from acute appendicitis.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive. Back in those days of these big exploration teams to only have one loss. I think that's why they traveled in big numbers.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
1866, President Andrew Johnson formally declared the U.S. Civil War over. 1920, the first commercial radio station, 8MK, which is now WWJ, began operations in Detroit, Michigan. The first
very first
station.
Radio station. That seems like a strange town for it to start in.
Right? But also still on the air.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's now WWJ in Detroit. Yeah. Very cool stuff. All right. 1969. We all know this one. All four Beatles were together in the recording studio for the final time as they finished the album Abbey Road.
Oh.
Was that when they did that? Was that the final time they recorded together?
I think so.
Wow.
And then I believe it was right after they redid that recording, they played on that roof and got in all the trouble.
Was it? Was that the same?
I think so. Maybe not. All right.
1977, the United States launched Voyager 2, an unmanned spacecraft carrying a 12-inch copper phonograph record containing greetings in dozens of languages, samples of music, and sounds of nature.
Could you imagine being an alien and getting an archaic piece of technology like that? And, honey, look, the humans sent us a platter. How would you even know what it does? It's a giant gold disc. Oh.
I know, right? It'd be cool, though. I mean,
yeah.
Either that or they'd be like, more space trash. Yep.
Humans.
So 20 years later, in 1997, an 88-year-old man had to be rescued twice from a burning hotel in Mattawa, Ontario. He went back in the second time to get his teeth. I gotta go back to my teeth inside.
It seems dangerous to me.
He really liked those teeth.
Yeah, I guess.
2008, researchers said guys with bulldog-like faces were more attractive to women. That explains Tommy Lee Jones. The study of the... He does look like a bulldog, doesn't he?
Uh-huh.
One of those friendly ones with the floppy ears and the floppy jowls that come up to you.
Yeah.
The study of skulls of human ancestors and modern humans found that women and thereby evolution selected males with relatively short upper faces. Among the men who fit the bill, Will Smith and Brad Pitt.
They look like bulldogs? I don't think so.
I don't think either one of them looks like bulldogs at all.
Oh.
If anything, Will Smith might look like a whippet, maybe.
I don't know, but it looks like he can fly with those ears.
I think of Brad Pitt. What are the ones like? Is it an often pincher? The ones with the really long golden hair and the long pointy faces. Isn't that an often pincher? I think something like that. Anyway, that's what I get with Brad Pitt. All right. 2015, 30 students at West Point Military Academy were injured in a mass pillow fight.
How does that even happen? A little whiplash?
I don't know. And there have been multiple times for challenges around here. I've really wanted to start an impromptu pillow fight. I almost did once at the golf course on the driving range. It was actually a challenge to go to a local golf course, start an impromptu pillow fight on the driving range.
I can see how people get hurt though, because some of them, they got a lot of foam in there. It can be kind of a solid impact. So,
and around here, you never know who's packing, and it's just gonna, pull out and go all Danny DeVito on you. All
with
right.
a pillow.
Yeah, right. 2020, Kamala Harris accepted her nomination for vice president, becoming the first U.S. woman of color on a major party ticket.
All right.
And now again, yeah.
On to special events. Today is the day of medical transporters. So like an ambulance driver, maybe, or a helicopter. I guess that would qualify too if you fly people.
Or is this a Star Trek thing?
Ooh, medical transporters. Those are special transporters where they beam you right to the doctor. All right.
To sick bay.
We're not geeks. Yeah. We're not geeks.
Yes,
Bacon Lovers Day. Oh, today's the day that people that love bacon wrap themselves in it.
Right?
Yeah, they're delicious.
Because people who are obsessed with bacon need another reason to talk about bacon.
Bacon. It's Hawaiian Pizza Day, arguably one of the best pizzas.
100%. Pineapple belongs on pizza.
Chocolate Pecan Pie Day. Chocolate pecan pie. That's different. It's also Lemonade Day. And as Chuck was talking about earlier with the first radio station, what year was that?
I believe that was, I have it right here, 1920.
1920.
Yep.
All right. Here's kind of what it sounded like.
Okay.
Let them eat static.
I believe that was
we just did that too. In honor of Radio Day, we let you eat static.
There you go.
Let them eat static.
Oops. All right. Virtual Worlds Day.
It wasn't an accident. It was a tribute.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then one of the finest creatures on planet Earth. Yes, it's World Mosquito Day. Love that sound. Nothing like getting bit by a mosquito, like on the tip of the nose.
Or in your ear.
Or when you're a plumber, backside.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of annoying buzzy sounds, it's a good thing we weren't on the radio yesterday, because you know what yesterday was? I don't know if you checked it out. Yesterday was National Talk Like Jar Jar Binks Day. Miss, I don't think that was a good idea. We could have got it in lots of trouble.
It's not a tumor.
We could have lost all our sponsors.
All right. Number for the day,
Sorry,
Chuck
everybody.
Ritchie.
I'll stop. The number of the day is 16. Those are the minutes a day the average person sits in their car as it's idling, such as stoplights.
Not in Juila.
Nope. Although I did
in a small town.
Yesterday, I didn't even realize I did it. I sat in my car. My wife lately been working. She set up her office outside in the RV, and I messaged her. I said, "Hey, are you in the RV? Are you in the house?" I was going to go in and say hi. She didn't respond. I lost track of time. I sat in the car running in the driveway for an hour and a half last night. Just waiting for her to respond, losing track of time, poking on my phone, scrolling Facebook.
Really?
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't get asphyxiated in the car.
I know, right? It's a Prius.
Oh, yeah, no exhaust.
Yeah.
So was it really running, or were you just using electricity?
There's exhaust. It runs off. It runs off an engine. There's exhaust. Just
okay. But I thought the engine only works when it has to.
Well, when I have the air conditioner going, yeah, it does.
All right.
Yeah, there's that.
Good job, Chuck.
Thank you.
Quick note right here before we head to today's odd news. Mega Millions jackpot sets at $498 million for tonight.
Ooh.
$500 million. Wow.
I'm gonna win it.
Wow. You gonna win it?
I'm gonna win it. You'll never see me again. No.
And that means I'll be back in Chihuahua training a new manager. Bummer. I hate flying.
No, that would mean I could actually afford to work here, Scott.
Oh. All right. Chuck's working for free. You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. No paycheck for Chuck Ritchie. He's giving it up in hopes he'll win the lottery.
I might still keep it.
I think you have to make that deal before you get your ticket. Okay,
you?
maybe not.
You have to make the deal that you're going to keep your job or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. It is Bacon Lovers Day.
It is.
Let's cook it up.
Slap some bacon on a biscuit and let's go. We're burning daylight.
It's the world of strange. A world gone wacky.
Out here, due process is a bullet.
And some of the scariest people on the planet.
I think you're bluffing. Be afraid.
You know, you look mighty pretty when you get mad.
It's your odd news on KCHW.
Just sit back and enjoy the show.
Ba-dum-bum. All right, it's our odd news for today. Kick it off with the news attack. First sentence true, second sentence bad joke. Here's Chuck Ritchie.
So a new survey shows that young adults are not saving for retirement, unless by retirement you mean 2 weeks in Cancun.
Gotta have priorities. According to a new study, a small child's ability to accurately draw indicates the child's intelligence, or, in my case, lack thereof. But one of the child's parents really do look like stick figures.
I don't think that was my parents or your children's parents, Scott.
Okay.
A senior campaign staffer for Kamala Harris says the plan is to stay energized and keep moving. But if I were running for president, my strategy would be to keep moving, but with occasional stops at ice cream shops in every city.
In McDonald's.
Yeah, right?
Company that owns the Circle K convenience stores wants to buy the company that owns 7-Eleven. Finally, you'll have one less stop to make when you need that late-night Slurpee and questionable hot dog combo.
There's nothing like a questionable late-night gas station hot dog.
I don't know what it is, but here in Maine, I don't know if it's spread across the country yet, Circle K's have some of the best pizza on the planet.
Oh, I've seen that, yeah.
Saying it. At a Quickie Mart, it's weird. It is absolutely delicious. Okay.
You know, some of the best pizza I've had has been from gas stations, and some of the best fried chicken, man. Everywhere you go, fried chicken is always good in gas stations.
Why is that?
What is that? Is it like would they just have people that are bored back there trying to, like mad scientists, perfecting their fried chicken recipes?
Road chicken.
Because they got nothing else to do. Yeah,
I guess.
Although I do like those the hot dogs that go in the roller, and the ones that have been there and they were a really long time, they get almost leathery.
You like that?
I like that. I do.
Okay.
You know, I think it was from my childhood. My mom, for a long time, worked at a convenience store. You know, just one right around the corner. And at the end of the evening, she would bring home all of the leftover hot dogs.